You're watching Enterprise Nation TV with O2 Business.
Carolyn, welcome to Enterprise Nation TV. Thank you very much for joining us.
No,
so first of all, do you want to tell me about what you were doing before you entered the world of football?
Yeah.
I believe you were in fashion. That was
Yeah, fashion. So I started off, my degree was in politics, and I then I did my legal practice qualifications. I've got a master's in professional legal practice, and went to work for Gucci Group and Bulgari, and in the fashion world basically, which was a little bit different to football, which I realised, fashion is more, there's a lot of, males and females working together. It's I think the one thing that I did notice with football to fashion was the fact that, it is very male dominated. You can't take that away. The football industry, we've got players on the pitch that are male, all the backroom staff are male, and there are a lot of females now that watch football, but it is still predominantly, a very male focused business.
So your time in the fashion world, what do you think? What lessons do you think you picked up from that world that you've applied to your role at Mansfield?
I think just general business lessons. So when you start off in business, you're very almost naive. So I've picked up a lot about managing people, how to get the right people in the right roles. I worked with the chief exec and the chief financial officer in my previous roles, so I've always worked with high level managers, I guess, so that has really been helpful in seeing how they look at the big picture, because often in a role you're kind of very focused on what you're doing. You don't see how all the different pieces of the jigsaw are put together. So I was very, very fortunate to be in that position, and so transferring it over into this business, I think essentially the football club was very we were in the conference at the time when I took over, so you don't get a lot of financial support, and it was we put together now a proper business, whereas before it was run very much with volunteers, and there was nobody looking at the bigger picture to see how you could, because I think you as an entrepreneur, or at that high level position in business, you have to be able to see where you're going to be going, to be able to direct people in the right way, to all be pointing in the same direction. So that was a challenge when I first came into this role.
Yeah, and you've turned it around, and it's and course for profits, which is in this type football world is unusual. So what is it you did? Because a lot of the people watching this are small business owners who find it financially tough. What did you do to turn the club around, and what do you think they can learn from what you've done?
I think you've got to break everything down and not see. When you've got problems, you kind of, if, for example, going into this, there was so much wrong with the business. So it was, we've got lots of different businesses rolled into one here. We've got catering. We've got 10 different kiosks open on a match day. I think it's actually about 12 now. We've got restaurants, we've got bars, we've got the commercial side of things, we've got weddings, we've got a club shop, we sell merchandise. So there's so much involved, as apart from the product that you see on a Saturday or on a Tuesday. There's a lot of surrounding things. So for me it was very wow, how do we do, what do we do here, because none of it was working properly. So I broke everything down into sections and made sure then that I learnt the art of delegation very quickly, to get the right people, because you can't do everything yourself, but you can get people in there that can do a very good job, that you can then direct them and set them targets, and if they don't meet those targets, then they're answerable, and then they've got the people underneath. So it's very much starting from the top and then breaking it down into different sections. I've constantly got this whiteboard in my head, because it's not just the football that I'm involved with as well. I also I'm a director at One Call Insurance, so I've quite heavily involved in the insurance business now, and the legal side of things. So I'm a solicitor, so run OCL solicitors. So I have a lot going on, as well as 3 children and a demanding husband. So it's, very much break everything down into chunks and not get overwhelmed by it.
Now, much is made of the fact you're one of only 2 women in the Football League. You're the youngest CEO.
Yeah.
So what, and I know you must talk about this so much, but what reaction really what did you have when you were first announced in this position? Did you face discrimination?
Oh yes, definitely. And I'd still think that the football industry has got a long way to go, and I know that it happens across different industries, but there's huge discrimination issues that the football world has not yet dealt with. So I think it's because it's very male dominated, and a lot of the roles are very coveted by men, so maybe they're very protected and guarded by men, so it also makes it impossible to navigate your way through things. So in boardrooms I can especially because of the way I look as well, I'm quite youthful looking even though I'm 35, and blonde, so I think that people have that vacuous impression of me before I get stuck in, and if they talk to me then maybe they'd realise that there's a bit more about me. So there's definitely issues that I faced and people aren't very, the way that I deal with it is just don't take any of it on board, and keep on pushing, keep on just on my path, and keep on travelling down the road that I'm going, and making sure every day that I do my job as best as I can.
Does it annoy you though that the fact, I've done it as well, one of the 2 female, that being a woman is always brought up, and potentially maybe the first thing people say, or in a way do you think it actually raises the profile of discrimination?
No, I think it makes. I think when I speak to other women, they're always a little bit dubious about getting involved in football. They don't understand, why do I put up with the amount of, stick or banter? Why do I bother? What do I, and it can put a lot of people off. I wouldn't blame a lot of women for actually, walking away and saying, do you know what, this is not worth it. I don't want to be involved in this kind of, industry. I think football's very kind of, because it's about winning, and it's a competitive sport. You're almost, our Mansfield, we're building it up, but we're not one of the biggest clubs in the world. So we, as well as being a female myself, my army's not yet that big. I think that when we take Mansfield up the leagues, which is our plan, our army will get stronger, and then people will see. It won't be. There's only a few CEOs. Hopefully, it will show people that if you stick around and you keep on going, football, the doors will open for other football women to get involved in football.
Just talking more generally, what would your advice be to women looking for our audience, start businesses in maybe male-dominated industries? What would your tips be?
I'd say absolutely go for it. Don't let it be a barrier, and just keep on focused. Have a lot of tenacity and drive, and just don't listen to the abuse. Post things on social media, but don't read what they put underneath it, and just keep on tapping away, and don't use it. Don't use it as an excuse though either, because it shouldn't be. It's male dominated. I shouldn't get involved. Absolutely go in there and get stuck in.
So you mentioned that you're director of several other businesses.
Yeah.
You're managing a football club that's doing great things, so it's growing. So probably, how do you manage your time in the world? Because managing time in business is very important. With that many roles, how's your day-to-day structure?
Yeah, so I am a big believer in exercise. So I use that's my little peace and quiet. I also have 3 very small children, twins that are 2 and a 3-year-old. So I wake up in the morning probably about between 5:30 and 6, and go in the gym and go for a run and whatever, and then the children get up, so I make sure that I always give them breakfast and spend time with them, and then I'm out the door by about 9 o'clock, and I I have set days where I'm in which business, so people know that I'm contactable there and when. And then I always make sure that I'm back for about 5 o'clock in the house to have tea with the children, and then to put them to bed at 7, and then I might carry on doing a bit. I mean, with your mobile phone these days, you can be 24/7 if you want to be. We're quite fortunate with technology. So, but it's really important for me that I balance my life, and the exercise is a massive tip, because it gives you that boost in the morning to set you in the right frame of mind for the rest of the day, and also to make sure that you balance and you fit enough time in for your children. I would like to say that weekends are precious for us, but obviously we have a match on a Saturday.
Course, yeah.
So but now the children are getting to the point where they can come with us and enjoy the match, and Sundays are our special days, so we make sure that we try and just have a nice Sunday lunch, and because you've got to really find balance. I think it's not just in work, it's to find a lifestyle balance, because if you're not happy in your lifestyle, you're not going to be productive at work, you're not going to get things done, because you're too, so yeah, don't take on too much. Don't practice what I preach, really. I should do.
Which other business people or entrepreneurs inspire you, male or female?
Yeah, do you know, I have a variety. I love reading autobiographies and things, and I think a variety. I mean, obviously there's Karen Brady. She's a pioneering woman in football. She's and also runs other businesses too. So I've taken advice from her books, and I like almost like. I know that people like or hate Donald Trump, but Ivana, not Ivanka, no, it's Ivanka, his daughter, is very, very inspiring as well. She writes some good business books, and then also people, like Jennifer Lopez. I like people. I've got a wide range of of people that I use as good role models, I guess, and they're generally women with children and learning how they balance their life and also become incredibly successful, which they are.
And just finally, you're closing our Festival of Female Entrepreneurs, which in October.
So excited! Thank you.
No problem at all. Which we're really looking forward to. Why do you feel you wanted to get involved in that event? Why do you think people should attend?
I think it's really to just try and pass on any knowledge that I've got that I could be helpful to people. So especially if I can help females, empower them to drive a successful business, and just pass on any nuggets of information that I've picked up along the way. Obviously being thrown in the deep end in the world of football has taught me I could have either sunk or I've paddled away a little bit, so I picked up a few tips along the way, so hopefully they'll be useful for people out there to listen to.
Fantastic. Well, we'll see you at the festival, Carolyn. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.